Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of PDR Tool Time. This is episode 267 with your glorious hosts, myself, Vince D'Alessandro, John Renstrom, and Daniel Grom. Hudson's on hiatus, taking care of baby issues and wiping butts and birthdays. So, we have an action-packed episode. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of different things. We got a new product on the horizon that's going to be released at MTE Vegas. We have some of the hub systems that we got going on, and the Dent Reaper angel rods that a couple of us already have and are working on with them. So, gentlemen, how are you?
Hello, hello, hello.
What's up? How's everybody doing?
And it's fantastic.
I'm not smoke free. I'm in smoke central.
Oh, you're back to fires again, huh?
Yeah, my eyes this morning, man. I had to wash my eyes out like 3 times. It's bad, but it's nowhere near me. That's the good thing. It's nowhere near me, but it's like the jet stream is blowing all the way over to John there and myself. So
yeah, we've been covered in smoke for about a month now.
Well, oddly enough, that smoke did make it down here to Texas a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
As of this recording, I'm in the middle of the Black Hills Sturgis Motorcycle Rally.
Yeah.
The Super Spreader event.
Yeah, what happened to that?
Never materialized at all, whatever. Yeah, it didn't kill enough people. The media had to ignore it. So they've completely ignored it this year.
Well,
but man, it's huge this year. It is ridiculous.
I think they said like 700,000.
Oh, they're expecting well north of 1 million.
Wow.
And it already, I had to run to town yesterday, and it's an absolute disaster.
How many bikes did you take out?
I haven't taken out any this year. I got close.
Okay.
Got close. It's
Always
always
work on your stats.
Yeah.
There should be a way of like identifying local. Make way for the locals so I could get to the local market and get some local milk.
I have to change my route into town because Black Hills Harley Davidson, which is the largest Harley dealer here in the U.S., simply because of the Sturgis Rally, it's just down the road from my house. So they do their demo rides down the road that leads to our house. They put up a temporary stoplight, but the bikes assume everybody's going to the Harley store. So they just blow through the light. Well, those of us that live out here and all the different, like Caterpillar, the big Caterpillar plant, there's 2 different trucking companies headquartered down that same road. We're all going straight. And we're going straight through their green light. Yeah. So, I mean, every year I get really close to wiping out somebody who's going to be an idiot and run the red light.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
Are you... So
Rebels.
do the Harleys actually go by your house, or I'm not sure how you...
My house is off of any main road, and but we can hear them running down the interstate all day because we're at the top of the hill above the interstate, even though the interstate's about a mile away.
So you haven't been doing any hail lately. Why don't you get a banner out there with your MPDR phone number and stick it out there, man?
I would have to put it out on the main road, and then I'd have to
put it out on the main road.
Because then I'd have to work.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, seriously, I've been landscape artist this year. I've got some hours on my excavator and everything, but I'm getting ready to probably head out next week for a little bit of hail work. So I'll get to put my new tool to the use. These are the new Dent Reaper angel rods. Daniel and I both got these, and we got the new hat that's going along with them. So
the hat, did you say?
Yeah, these are on a pre-release sale on Dent Reaper's website. So I'll bring that up here. So the angel rod comes in 3 different lengths. Like I said, these are all on the pre-sale. They're $4.99 right now. And if you are ordering them on the pre-release, you actually get the Dent Reaper hat.
What's up with that hat? It's like reflective or something, right? It does weird things.
No. Right? Oh, you know what? Maybe it does.
It does.
I saw it in the dark or something, doesn't it?
There's something weird about it because Vidine had it on the other day, and it was like, it looked like something space aged. It was crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was a special effect. I think he did tell me that he was trying to get it so it would glow. Yeah. Because his stickers glow in the dark.
Yes. And his shirt did too.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So yeah,
John.
The difference on these from the regular Reaper rod, while they're shaped the same as Reaper rod, is you see we got the softer tip on them. So they're blunted out, but then they sharpened the whole backbone on them. So you do have the ability to soft push with the sides and a sharp finish, as well as being able to finish with this radius of this tip here.
So you got 3 tips in one. You could side load, you could blade it out, and then you have the soft push.
And it just so happened yesterday, I get them, I unbox them, and I had the perfect car to test it out on. I got to test it right away at a VW with a huge just dent right in the center. It looked like a baseball hit it, and it was actually stretched. The panel was definitely stretched, and I stuck this thing down, and I used the blunt side, and it rolled that whole dent out. It was overstretched, so it rolled it outward, but it allowed me to start hammering and start to shrink the metal and get it to work. Otherwise, I would have been picking at it for a long time before I got it to that point.
It's not really blunt, though. It's sharp, isn't it?
Well, I'm talking this end.
Okay, gotcha. The heel.
I ended up rolling it this way and pushing this part on the dent.
Gotcha.
And it rolled it out in one twist.
I think what's really good about
really
it too
nice.
is that it's American made. It's made in A1 makes them. You don't have to wait, and it's not going to be a special exclusive one of a kind that is the best tool ever and then disappears and never to be made again. Which I never understood that sales pitch. But these will be available. Actually, Anson will probably have them in about a couple of weeks as well. For those that order from Anson.
Yeah. And that set is 20-inch, 30-inch, and 40-inch out of that set.
And they're shaved they're shaved all the way to right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, up close to I think I got the 30-inch here, and the shave stops about 10, 12 inches past the hub.
And the VW I was working on, it's a tight window. It's a really tight window. You have to use I use an airbag to wedge that open, and they're that tight. And this fit down there great. Had no problem fitting down there. It was the right length too. I didn't have to go to a bigger one.
Sweet.
And these things are stout. I mean, there's no flex, zero flex in this thing. It's strong as hell.
That's great. Yeah. I was talking
to use next week.
Yeah.
Talk about their welds there.
I was going to wait and talk about the welds a little bit later on.
Okay.
So A1 is now MIG welding. I don't know if my camera will even focus in on this.
Yeah, we can see it pretty good.
Look at the cleanliness of this weld.
It's pretty.
And what really brings that to my attention is if we look back at some of their older welds, like here's a tequila double shot.
Another favorite of
done
tools
with a MIG welder.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they're now TIG welding. It's cleaner. The penetration looks a little bit better. It just an all around way nicer looking tool. I mean, blew me away at how awesome the fit and finish is of the hub on this tool.
To be fair, I think that tequila tool was kind of a first run prototype, right? Cowboy Vinny?
I wouldn't say that. I think it's more along the lines that they got some better
tools.
Welders. They got better
tooling,
welders over at A1.
Okay.
They're expanding as well. They're making tools like crazy, and they do a wonderful job. But you can see
the difference. I mean, we're talking MIG and TIG welds. So, MIG is going to run a lot more wire out onto that, whereas the TIG, you're kind of burning the material and adding the filler rod as needed.
Yeah.
To give an example, here's one of my own TIG welds.
Oh dear.
And you can see I got a little undercutting. I'm a little amateurish. I'm nowhere near as clean as.
I thought you were a body guy and you knew how to weld, man. What's
20 years ago.
Yeah.
You that out of practice?
Especially with the TIG welder.
Well, Daniel, I thought you were a BMX guy, man. You're able to get on a bike and ride it like you did like 30 years ago, right?
20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's when I get hurt.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But we'll go more into my weld a little bit later on in the show when we start discussing the hubs and how to install them.
Well, I was on John Vidin's Dents and Dreams podcast last night, and I was talking to him and about the Reaper rods or the Angel rods, and they're nice. I mean, everything about them is quality. I would definitely give them a shot. Like you said, Daniel, that was a perfect scenario. I find that those rods, sharp tools like that on the back, they're ideal. They really are. I would like to see some hail guys try them and use them, because I think what they're going to find is that sharp ridge to the heel of the tool. It acts like a dolly, but it works really fast when you're dealing with sharp dents, and it's distributing the evenness out, so you're not going to crack the paint. You can push pretty damn hard and still not cause high spots. It's like a soft tip. It's like a soft push, right?
That's kind of what I'm looking forward to, especially when you get the hail that's got that high wind where it drives those dents into them side panels.
Yeah. Using the backside of a tool, we've been doing that forever, since the beginning. As having a metal soft push works extremely well, and it is different than like a soft ball tip or something like that. Ball tip still is a lot pointier than you think it would be than something like this. And there's a big advantage of that if you figure that out.
Yeah. That's awesome. Absolutely. So Daniel, you have something coming out that you've been working on. I know I've seen it now at Anson for the past year. And
and this is collaboration with me and Anson and you, and it's called the Mantis.
Yes.
And I've got the working prototype here. I don't know if I can show it all.
Yeah. I'll bring up.
I can show some pictures. It's going to be called the Mantis Puller.
Yes.
And so here's the deal. I've been using a pogo stick for years, been advocating the use of a pogo stick. And the big challenge was, what do you do when you don't have something to leverage against?
Yeah.
And so this was born. And it doesn't have a pad right here on the foot yet, because this was an early prototype, a finished prototype. So there's going to be a pad on the bottom of this, and then the handle is going to be rubber dipped.
Because you just have one of the right now, one of the squeeze it.
Yeah, I put one of those on there. So that'll be black. This unscrews, by the way, for shipping.
So the whole blue part, for those watching the video, the entire blue part will unscrew, and then the handle, you can pull this pin, the whole thing folds up, so a route tech can throw this in the back of their truck or their car, and it's a lot more compact.
Yeah. And so it works just like a pogo stick does or a hustle stick does, but it uses the ground for leverage. So you can pull between the doors, and it works unbelievable. It works fantastic. So all these guys that have all these big pullers, they're complicated, they're expensive, they take time to set up and store, and there's all those disadvantages of that. This is compact. A route guy can carry this thing. And it's inexpensive. We're going to be selling it at MTE for $4.99, I believe is the price point, right, Vince?
You know what?
That's what Craig told me yesterday.
Then that's what it is.
Okay. Right. So it's going to be $4.99. And you basically can do big smashes, be able to glue pull with a static pull. You can see there's a chain here, and this is adjustable. There's a track.
Here, let me. Who's sharing their screen? Is it John?
Yeah, it was me.
Okay, let me share mine real quick. And see this. Okay, don't show that again. I could kind of show you.
But the eyelet will move up and down the length of that handle, so you can vary that height. That was the first question I had when Daniel sent me this.
So here's Christina standing on it, and this is kind of what it looks like. Oops. Sorry. in action.
Oh no!
New podcast service. Screen share is totally different than it used to be.
Right. So notice her feet is standing on the bottom.
No, we don't see yours yet.
What do you mean? You don't see it?
Nope.
What do you mean you don't see it? Oh, I'm sorry. There it is. Okay,
I think you have to add it to the feed.
Entire screen share. Damn it!
Put your cursor over the.
Oh, this
picture.
is what I want. Okay, here we go. You see that?
There we are.
Okay, so there's Christina on it. This is probably the one that Daniel has, and you could see that she's stepping on it and using a jerking motion. Obviously, this was done in, boomerang, but you would have that chain on there, and you're moving. You're probably not yanking on it like that, but you get the picture, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Allows you to have that leverage pull without needing something else to leverage off of.
Right. And it frees up your other hand, so you could use a hammer and knock down the crowns while you're pulling on it and holding tension, right?
Yeah.
Daniel?
Yes. Sorry, I was going to try to bring up more pictures.
And if you needed to hold tension on it, you could just take another rope ratchet, like we've done with pogo sticks and everything forever and a day. And
so let's talk about that for a second. So in my experience, because I do a lot of big smashes, that percentage where you need tension on a dent is very, very small. I only find it when I'm doing a big smash is probably only like 3% of the time that you need that. What I personally do is I like to soften an eyebrow slightly before I even do a pull. So I'll give an eyebrow a bunch of wax, and if you look at it, you won't even be able to tell that I've done that. But my experience is that it does soften it. So when you do a static pull, that metal now is going to go into the dent, and it works extremely well that way for me.
Yeah. I think it all just depends upon the dent that you're doing. Yeah. A lot of the box sides, when I'm doing a box side, I generally need tension held onto a box side when I pull the wheel lip. But that's generally because some cow pressed into it. Literally, not a figurative cow, like a cow. 2,000 pounds of beef just went down the box side. So
yeah. And the other thing about this thing is you can use it for pulling on a bed. You can pull on edges of fenders. So you can pull a lot more than just glue pulling.
Yeah, that's what I like about the versatility of it. Not to mention when I'm doing some door stuff, that's where I don't have a place to rest my pogo stick, the foot on it, and the foot on it's too small to try to hold it with your own foot. It works in backwards. And the way you've got this set up, you're standing on the pad and then you're pulling the arm to you. And once you guys rubberize, because you're talking, they've got a new plastisol that they're going to put on the base of this thing that should be a lot stronger.
That's a military grade. It's really thick.
Yeah, it should probably give some really good traction. So even if you needed a temporary thing, you should be able to hold it and then press out and run some taps.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be golden. Look forward to hearing some feedback from users.
Yeah. Well, if you guys aren't going to make it, it's going to be at MTE Vegas. We're going to have it in our PDR Tool Time playground, where the four of us, including Hudson, will all be there. Sorry, John, I forgot to mention your name the other day. I feel terrible about it in my little video. But we're all going to be there. We're going to have tools from the manufacturers that you could try and pull on and poke with and all that good stuff prior to buying it, which would be great. You could also, all the tools that we're going to have there, you'll be able to, we're going to have a raffle on Saturday. So we're probably going to be selling raffle tickets. I believe last time we did what, 1 for 5 or 5 for 20 or something like that. And that's how we generate a little bit of income to pay for our bills here at PDR Tool Time. We're non-for-profit. We've always forked out our own money to pay for stuff.
What's the opposite of non-for-profit? Is there like
for-profit?
Non-for-profit debt? We're pro for debt?
Pro for debt, yes.
Is that a word?
This content does not is not free. Someone's paying for it, and it's us. So we
How
love
many thousands of dollars have we spent, Vince?
Tens.
But there should be some great tools again this year, and hopefully a lot of new stuff to really check out.
Yeah,
you're gonna get a chance to heck. Maybe we'll even get a couple of these angel rods for you guys to try out. And
we'll
somebody
definitely
could be walking home with some.
Definitely. So. I talked to John. We'll definitely have that. One of the other things too is that the cars that we're using in the booth, please be respectful of them because they're owned by the people that work for MTE. We had rental cars are really hard to find right now. So we will be using employees' cars. Last year in Orlando, not last year, year and a half ago, whatever. In Orlando, should I name his name? Should I call him out on our podcast?
No.
Okay, well, let's just say a veteran of our industry, a well-known name, thought it was funny to take Fetty tools and like shatter the paint all on a hood of a car that the car belonged to someone. Not very cool to do. I'm not going to call him out because it was kind of a shitty thing to do. So you guys just be respectful of the cars. If you need help, if something's going south, grab one of us and we'll coach you back into it to finishing it properly. And
remember, we got to clean those cars up.
Yeah, if you start something, friggin' finish it, all right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to call you out on the podcast. Oh, that guy's a terrible dent guy.
Exactly.
You see his dent work, Vince. His dent work sucked.
Right.
But yeah, we got to clean those cars up. And this year we're being kind enough to actually get cars. That was, my wife asked me that yesterday because we're driving her brand new Jeep down to Vegas. And she's like, "You're not using my car in the playground, are you?"
No,
we're not using your car.
We wouldn't want the wrath of her.
Yeah.
We know better. She'd put on that angry wig and then we'd be in big trouble.
So make sure you come by, go to Vegas. If you're flying out of South Dakota, prices suck, but I'm in driving distance, so we're driving. But most everywhere else, I mean, they're cheap flights to Vegas. Stop at that South Point and hang out in the playground. Come test out some new tools, man. We haven't. Man, I think Vegas, we should have a plethora of killer tools that nobody's got to try out because it's been ever since we've had
2 years.
Yeah. So
exciting.
Yeah. All right. Well, the Mantis puller will be in the playground. So we're probably not going to kick any big dents into these cars.
No. But you know what? The other thing we're going to have in there is the Perfect Pull by Mark Jackson.
Yeah, and that's going to be pretty interesting because that's designed to do big, heavy, static pulls. You could probably mechanize that with a couple different power tools to make some power pulls.
And he's actually got a new glue out. He just sent me a big, huge box of it. I haven't had a chance to try it out yet, but I haven't even talked to him. I tried to call him a couple times to find out more about.
Why don't we call him now? Send him a link.
I can do that.
Yeah, send him a link. But in the meantime, while Daniel's doing that, we sell that glue at Anson already, and we have the Perfect Pull at Anson that we sell. But I
don't have his email.
Okay. Well, just text him the link. It'll work like that as well. Do you know how to do that?
Yep.
Okay. So we have two. We're bringing both setups, and he's bringing his. If you watch his video with Christopher Ray, is it Ray's or Ray's? Ray. Christopher Ray's?
Christopher Ray.
Okay, Ray. So they did a big glue test, and we are actually going to bring that to Vegas as well. So we're going to be testing out different glues, and he's going to have his machine there that weighs the pressure of a static pull, and we're going to have a good time with it. No pressure. So if you have your favorite glues and you want to try them out and see how much pressure it does, feel free to bring it. If you're new to the market with a glue, bring it. We'll test them all out. It'll kind of be like I'm not sure if it's going to be in the PDR Tool Time booth or if it's going to be in the Anson booth, but either way, we have 2 units coming.
Darn it. All right, let's see if we can bring this back up here and not get it to, it's going to blow up on me every single time.
Yes.
But the whole idea behind this is when you set it up, where you see the bars, the three, basically your connection bars on your phone there. You see those three bars, that whole area lays on the ground. The tower is where you're doing all the pulling. And here you can see the difference between Grom's Mantis puller versus the perfect pull. Is the perfect pull is designed where the human's not involved. The only thing you're doing is running the tension and keeping that tension on that panel. This follows very much along the old school way of post pulling, a frame rack puller, anything from conventional body repair.
Yep.
And that picture doesn't do any justice to. When you see this thing up close, it is so beefy and so well made.
Yeah, it really is.
It's pretty impressive piece of machinery.
And then here's the glue.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So it's a box of 40 sticks. So there's a lot of glue.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. That's everything else comes in a 10-pack.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, check out that the perfect pull. I'll bring up the website and put a link in the show notes too.
Yeah. There's going to be so many things. I know from Anson point of view, we have so many new products coming out every week, but we're really MTE Vegas. We're releasing a lot of new stuff that you guys have not seen before. We're kind of giving you a tease on some of them right now, being the Mantis. The cat was out of the bag with the hard pull glue, but the hard pull glue is going to be coming in a very special case, which is going to be really cool.
When is that getting closer?
Yeah, we're hoping to have that by MTE Vegas.
Okay, cool.
We're now carrying the dead center tabs. I don't know if you guys seen those.
The red ones.
The red ones, yeah.
Let me kick up the share on that one.
So those are going to come in variety pack or anything from 5 all the way up to 17. If you hit on shop now, you'll see. You could see in that picture all the different sizes. So those are incredible. Besides the regular dead center, you have the red ones now.
Cool.
Yeah, and plus countless other things. Sometimes it's overwhelming how many things we got coming out. Is all this stuff obviously has to get put on the internet, and that kind of falls into my lap. But pictures and all that. But it's good. It's all great positive stuff for our industry. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing everything.
Right.
That'll be.
All right, what else are we talking about here? We got the Reaper rods. We talked about Mantis, hubs.
So John's going to share his experience of so you send him some hubs. And
I bought a buttload of hubs, and now Anson's also expanded the hub line. So originally we were getting these hubs. We've had them on the show many times. We've talked about them. They're threaded with a 1/2x16, so it takes your normal. You could thread in a normal 1/2-inch bolt, and
it's coarse, right? Coarse 16.
Yeah, it's a coarse thread. It's 16 threads per inch.
Right.
So 1/2x16 is your bolt size. So I'm now going through and I've been modifying my tools a little bit, but Anson has now made these hubs with some smooth and various sizes.
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to order these for the size of the rod that you want.
Or closer to it. It doesn't have to be exact.
Yep. And if you're doing stainless, stainless is pretty much dead simple. So this is an Ultra Dent Tools ST3810, one of my favorite tools. I put a variety of soft tips. I normally keep a ball tip in here for doing a lot of side panels, but the only thing that was going to make it better is getting a hub put on the end. So I got a little how-to. I'm going to put it together and post it up on everything that I did. These I TIG welded myself, so I still got that amateur status that we were discussing earlier. But this is just a simple matter of This hub was the same size as this shaft. I just slid it on, squared it so that I was up, put a tack weld on there, made sure that my handle stayed square to the tip so that I can have it put together and be straight, not crooked. And then
that's the crucial part. That's the only part that you have to be super careful about.
And you really do.
Well, so you do on a door tool, you don't really have to, because there's so many positions. Well,
this is the one rod that I did make the mistake on, and I got it crooked. So I put my tack weld on.
Yeah.
Then I slid my handle back in, and it was off like so.
See that's
I was
bad.
like, but I couldn't correct it at all.
Right.
So what I ended up doing was I chalked this end of the tool up in my vise. I put the 90-degree on there, and then I bent it till it was straight. And now I've got, I'm squared up.
Right. So, and that's my suggestion is if you have a rod or a hail rod or something like that, you're going to want to put it on the handle and just tack it, just tack it once and then finish it off.
Put that light buzz on it.
Yeah. A pick you're going to want, because that'll drive you nuts as a hail guy. If you're even off just a 16th, it'll drive you nuts all day. Right. So, but yeah, the stainless rods, man, those are the easiest. And as we were discussing earlier, you can run stainless through your MIG welder and get it. I just happen to own a TIG welder that I could burn hot enough to be able to burn these in, and my amateur status shows. But they burn in. If it breaks, it's my own fault, but I doubt it's going to break. I mean, I'm melted in pretty heavily onto these. But when we're discussing doing carbon, such as right here, one of the little Reaper rods that we all talk about, F-150 door slayers, clean up there by the belt molding. These tools kill on that. Yeah. The only thing that's going to make it better is weld on one of the hubs. But the problem is if we weld this hub on right here, these small tools, it kind of crystallizes that metal and it makes for a very brittle spot right into here. So what we're doing on these is we're taking the standard 1/2-inch bolt that I showed you, boring it out, cutting.
How hard was that?
Well, I don't know. This one here was sent to me, and after we get done recording this podcast, I'm going to a friend who's got a lathe, and I'm gonna bore a whole bunch of them and have them all done. Sliding that onto the end of the tool, and then you weld just this end right here. And then after that, screw on the hub, weld the stainless to the stainless.
Gotcha.
And that will save you from creating that hard spot. And that is how all of A1's tools that are carbon steel are going on to the end of the stainless hubs.
Yeah. And if you search on YouTube, you'll see a video. In fact, I'll put the link on it here, the way A1 does it. That way you know exactly how they do it. And that's just for the spring steel, the high carbon steel stuff, not the stainless.
Right. Stainless, you can just weld directly. The high carbon, smaller rods. Now I'm going to try and experiment. I talked with Mr. Dyer about this yesterday. I have a 1/2-inch rod I cut the handle off of, and we're going to bore the hub all the way through, and I'm going to weld that 1/2-inch rod on this end of the hub. Now, I'm not telling you all to do this because we don't know how this is going to turn out, and Craig said they haven't done it yet either. The only thing I have to be careful of is if I ruin one of these.
Yeah, if you get any slag on there, you're done.
Yep, it's going to be all over, and you'll never be able to put a tool on it. But the theory behind this is the small high carbon tools get brittle. Once you get to 1/2-inch diameter, you shouldn't be able to make it brittle enough once you weld it to cause any problems. Now I'm doing a Dentcraft rod that is one of my long-standing favorite tools. So if it doesn't work and I break it, I'm going to be mad and I'm going to be ordering a new one. But I'm going to figure out whether or not we can get it. I really want that tool to have one of these hubs on the end of it, though.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing, because we sell dozens. One guy ordered 80 hubs to do his whole tools. Some people just buy one for their favorite tool. It's crazy. And you know, if you're not comfortable welding and if you don't know how to weld, there's places that you could take it to.
A machine shop.
A machine shop.
Body shop.
Yeah, a body shop. Or
I would be careful on that.
Sometimes
some of those guys are really good.
I think the best welders I've ever seen are radiator shops. You know,
and those are getting tougher and tougher to find.
They are getting tougher and tougher to find because radiators are primarily plastic and stuff like that. But back in California, there were radiator shops for hot rods and for semis.
Yeah, I got these guys making stainless steel tanks for the wine industry around me.
Oh yeah,
and they're freaking unbelievable.
Sure.
Yeah, those guys got some ability to weld.
Yeah, they got high skills.
But yeah, if you have at least a machine shop available to you, you can go in and talk with them about it.
They're probably not going to want to do one. But
yeah, I've got 6 tools that I'm knocked out this weekend. I've got another 20 that I'll get done over time. And I'll get some more how-tos put up and what I did and the tools that I used and the processes behind it. I'll try to get that put up this weekend. So cool. But I'm just buying these bolts. This is just a 1/2-inch bolt. I'm buying them down at the hardware store. I can get them in a bulk bag like so. This is how many hubs I'm working with. So yeah, I just buy them in a bulk bag like this. And then my little crappy drill press wouldn't drill one straight. I already blew through one. So I have a friend who actually happens to have a lathe. So we're going to chalk these up this afternoon, and I'm just going to pre-bore for 5 of them for this size shaft and then the next size up.
Why does the lathe work better?
No.
Faster?
No bit waller. You get a cheap Chinese piece of crap drill press and the bit does this. Whereas a lathe is just going to drill straight in and it's going to be perfectly straight.
It doesn't have to be absolutely, perfect either because you are welding. But, all thread is 16 thread as well, 1/2-inch by 16.
Yes.
So the standard 1/2-inch all thread that you buy at Home Depot will be the same size.
Yeah, nobody had it in stainless around here. It's easier for me to buy the bolts.
Yeah.
So,
well, good stuff.
Pretty cheap, but it will give you a ton of versatility on your tools.
On that note,
AnsonPDR.com for the largest selection for just about all your PDR tools, where you'll find hog glue and hog tabs.
Don't forget to grab your Magnatech mat, available at most PDR tool distributors. All right, sorry about that. That was a little bit late. But there was something. Oh, I'm going to keep it a secret because it might not happen by MTE.
Oh, look who we got somebody on.
Huh? Oh, holy hell. Who's that guy?
Mark Jackson. Welcome, Mark. Surprise.
How are y'all?
Good.
Yeah, well, I am surprised. I was cleaning my house and glad I went over and checked the phone. So I had no idea.
So we're just recording here, and we were talking about the perfect poem being at MTE, and then Cowboy Vinny said, "Well, throw a link to Mark, see if he comes on," and you did. So cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're going to be at MTE. We're going to have you at the PDR Tool Time Playground, and you'll be able to show this thing off to people and show it exactly how it works and on an actual car, right?
Yeah, we'll do basically a mock-up. I don't think we'll be pulling anything unless somebody wants to kick their car. And probably not the best idea, but I'll be able to, show you how to set it up. I also have a buddy of mine working on a video that's just going to highlight. It's going to be a highlight video of all the some of the clips that I already have out there, so people will be able to watch it. So I'll have a couple TVs set up at the show. And then we'll also be doing the glue pull testing live. That video that me and Chris did. If you haven't seen that, check it out at Dentless Touch YouTube. And we'll be doing that. So
yeah, and that's what I was telling them because I did get the other complete setup. So we'll have both setups at MTE for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll be taking the rail off and explaining to people, how it can go under the car wheel for mobile, just helping people understand how you can set it up.
Cool. And you also have some new glue out that you sent me. I haven't had a chance to use it yet, but what can you tell us about that?
It's just a good all-around glue. It's my everyday glue. So long as it's not too cold outside, it does get brittle in the cooler temperatures, and that's why I switched to black. But I use that probably 90% of the time. Every now and then I'll pick up some root beer or, root beer. I used that when it was really hot the other day to pull on a door, and pulled it at 130 degrees, and it just did really good in the heat. But yeah, the Perfect Pull glue is a good all-around glue, great collision glue. It's just, not a super high-priced item. You don't have to do anything special to make it work other than the normal, like 6Cs and things like that, So just good all-around glue.
I was hoping that you were going to tell us there's about 27 steps to prep your panel before using your Perfect Pull glue.
I mean, if you want to lift the car off the ground with a crane, there's a 37-step process that you have to go through, and you can call me. It only takes 14 hours to set it up, so it's really easy.
That sounds good. I'm a smart ass sometimes, ain't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Well, Mark, we just wanted to touch base with you. We're going to have you on for a longer period on our show. It was more of a whim just to call you real quick, and MTE is right around the corner. We want everyone that has questions to be able to come to MTE and have them answered by yourself or us or whoever. So it's great, and I appreciate you coming on for a little bit.
Yeah, if you guys are interested, go to his website. It's perfectpulldent.com. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can see all of his videos. What's that?
Yeah. I think they're all on. I was just saying, I look forward to talking to people and explaining, how they can, start these large dents using the Perfect Pull. So I can't wait to talk to everybody about it and help everybody understand how it works.
Yeah, and then after that, if you can't make it to MTE and you're in the Texas area, I believe Mark will be coming out about 2 weeks later, and I think we're going to get Daniel to come too and talk about his Mantis at the body shop in Irving, Texas. There's another convention that we're all going to as well, which would be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Get that. Yeah, planning on doing that as well. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you coming on and improvising with us. That was awesome.
Okay, one last thing. It's called the Texas Auto Body Trade Show, and it's Friday and Saturday, September 17th and 18th. I'll put a link up on that as well. That way you could, if you're in the Texas area, you could come out and hang out with us.
Yeah, if you local guys can go to a show like that. I used to go to NACE before there wasn't any MTE. So NACE was the auto body huge show, kind of like SEMA is, but it was all auto body. And I would find all kinds of stuff there that I would end up using on, PDR or transferring over, and just getting ideas. It's always good to cross over like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anything to get your brain thinking about, other ways to do stuff or even attack larger damage, I think probably a good idea. It's as close as we can get to cross training in the PDR business to, look at some body shop stuff. Sure.
It's interesting. Guys have been posting on Facebook. I don't know if you've noticed a few things that they're posting some really old body shop tools that were essentially doing PDR back in the day. And Ian Cordell has one of these tools. When I went over to visit his shop, he has it hanging on his wall, and it looks like a big old C-clamp with two rollers on it. And
solid.
And he told me, the guy that he got it from said, you used to go into a gas station and you would get dents on your fenders. So they had open fenders, right? And they would roll dents out while you're at the gas station getting your gas. And I thought that was hilarious. you know, it wouldn't surprise me to see something like that be renewed and revamped for the PDR industry. You know,
I'm sure somebody's thinking of something like that right now.
yeah, right?
Somebody's sketching it up, probably wanting. You'll see that at MTE next year, probably, hopefully.
Pretty much. Yeah. Well, hey, Mark, we don't have the best connection and the sound is a little bit funky. So we're going to get you on again when things are a little bit tighter and we'll get you sounding good and all that good stuff.
Sounds good.
All right. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right.
See ya. Bye.
All right. So that's Mark Jackson.
The nicest guy, by the way.
Yeah. Very nice guy. And he could drink too. We had some good drinking sessions with him while he was in Texas. So, yeah.
That seems to be a common thread about going to Texas.
Well, yeah, we drink double the amount of everyone else does, and we're still fine.
Yeah,
we're tougher
Cowboys.
down here.
Cowboys.
Our livers are massive.
Yeah. Well, all right. I think that brings us to a conclusion. What do you say, gentlemen?
I think it does, man. That was a good show. I haven't talked to you guys in a while in this arena.
You know, our prayers and thoughts go out to your wife. You know, she's going through some difficult stuff right now.
Yeah.
And so all our love for you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that, everyone that has reached out. It's not something that I want to get into too much detail on here, but for those that have reached out, I appreciate it. And, yeah, we always welcome prayers.
Thank you.
So, Daniel.
All right, guys, don't forget to level up your tools.
Don't do stupid stuff.
And if you do stupid stuff, make sure you videotape it and put it on our page on PDR Tool Time. And keep it stiff. Thanks for listening.
Mobile Tech RX, the app that helps you make more money. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the industry and tool-related news every week.
Visit AnsonPDR.com for the largest selection for just about all your PDR tools, where you'll find hog glue and hog tabs.
Don't forget to grab your Magnatech mat, available at most PDR tool distributors.